Hey, church family, thank you for joining us today for our Daily Connection video. Glad to have you here. We are halfway through the week, jumping into John chapter 1 and talking about how we can be sure of our relationship with Christ. And we talked on day 1 about how we need to recognize Him. We've talked about how so many people rejected Him. And I think that verse 12 kind of highlights that, but then it also looks at the opposite side of that. While so many did reject Him, and we see that in verse 11 and verse 10 and 11. I think in verse 12 we look and we see that so many received him as well. While the world overwhelmingly rejected him, doesn't mean that everyone rejected him. So chapter 1 verse 12 of John, it says, "But to all who did receive him, he gave them the right to be children of God, to those who believe in his name." So again, so many people rejected him. The vast majority of the world rejected him. And even today, a large portion of the world rejects him. But some received him. Some heard the message of the gospel. They heard the good news of Jesus Christ and his work for them, all that he was going to do. And when they heard that, they believed it and they received him. And it says that when they received him, he gave them the right to be children of God, that he gave that to them. This gift of not just grace, right? Not just righteousness, that he would be their righteousness, but he gave them family, he gave them purpose, he gave them communion, he gave them something to live for, something bigger than themselves, to be a part of a family, not lost in the wilderness, not away from some sort of family, but to be adopted into the family of God, that they would be brothers and sisters in Christ because of the work of Christ. And I think that we see that today, that so many people do reject him. But here is this promise that if we hear his message and we receive it, he will make us children of God. Now this is an important concept that we need to understand. Does he have to make us children of God? If we hear his message and receive it, does he have to give us that? No, he doesn't have to. We are his creation. Let us not put ourselves on a higher pedestal than we really belong. In no way is Christ required or demanded to make us children of God. But he chooses to make us children of God when we receive him and believe in him. It is still a gift. Salvation still comes from Christ and Christ alone, faith in him. Our faith in him. Because of that, he chooses to give us the gift of grace. And if he is promising that if we receive and believe him and have faith in him, that he is going to give us this gift of grace, that he is going to make us a part of a part of God's family, then can we not just make that a firm foundation in our own lives? We don't have to doubt our salvation. We can be reminded, no, I have received him. I believe in him. I have faith in him. Therefore, I know I'm saved. Because John chapter 1 verse 12 says that for those who believe, he made them a part of the family of God. You and I can have confidence in knowing that Christ has made us a part of the family of God because of our belief in him. A couple of questions that I want us to look at. First question, where do you see evidence of the world rejecting Jesus? I don't think you have to look really far to find that. I think it's everywhere around us, but I would encourage you to take a moment, maybe make a list of the ways that you see, of the evidence that you see of the world rejecting Jesus. And then the second question, what are the blessings associated with believing and obeying Jesus? Obviously, one of those is that we're made a part of the family of God, but there's so many more blessings that exist when we believe and obey in Jesus. Would you just take a moment to make another list? A list that's really encouraging, a list where you recognize all of the many blessings that we have as children of God. I think as you do that, you're going to find yourself in a place of gratitude for all that Christ has done. I think you're going to find yourself in a place of worship of him. And so I think that would be good for you, good for me. So I'd encourage you to do that. And as you do it, church family, I want you to know that we love you and we're praying for you.